question so that you can have a year of growth, and that is, how do you keep consistent with no set schedule? Okay, cool. This is good. I like that you are thinking about your schedule and you're like, oh, you're kind of making a plan. Like, I know it's important to be consistent, but my schedule just gets in the way. I have like all of these work responsibilities or family or like kids or school. Like, I have these things on my schedule that prevent me from being consistent. I know I want to be consistent, but it's not happening because of this. So I don't know your schedule, your life, but I'm going to use myself as an example. And I'm actually going to show you my schedule, or what used to be my schedule. And it was kind of why I was struggling to be consistent. We'll get to that. So this is kind of like what it looked like. Years ago, I think I left teaching. I think this was like 2016. I left being a teacher and then became a teacher again by accident because that's all I thought I could do. And then again in 2017, okay, I'm not going to be a teacher. I'm not going to be a teacher. We're living in Atlanta. I'm not going to do education. Then what do I find myself doing? I am working with kids again as a nanny. Working for several families as a nanny. I'm also teaching online, and my schedule is a mess. It is all over the place. I am waking up early to work, and I'm also working like the whole day. On Wednesdays, I'm working until like 10 p.m. I'm working on Friday nights. I'm working on Saturday nights. I'm working on Saturday mornings, Sunday mornings. My schedule sucks. I basically took this life where I was a teacher and had a set schedule, and then left that life and ended up working more hours for less pay and no health insurance. So it was like, great, this is not the life that I want. This is not what I want for myself. The problem was I had no direction. I had not taken the time to like define where I was going. I think I kind of needed to mess around and try a bunch of different things and find out like, this is really painful. I no longer want to experience this pain. Let me figure something else out because this sucks. This sucks. Running around and not enjoying the life, having a million different things on my schedule that I don't want there, but like this is what my life is. And so I had to experience that pain to decide I no longer want this. And then I had to decide, what do I want? And it really stemmed from like, I had to start valuing myself and valuing my time and pick the direction that I wanted my life to go. So this is something that I want for you. If you are feeling like your schedule is a mess, realize that you played a part in making it this mess. And it probably came from priorities and values and different things. I don't know your story exactly, but like you played a part in what that schedule looks like. And this isn't the blame game, but it's just like, okay, cool. If I played a part in my schedule being a mess, I can also play a part in my schedule not being a mess. I can define what I want for my life. I can start to like explore my values and explore what I want for myself. And I can recreate the life that I do want. And I can create a new story for myself. Can create new beliefs. I can create new thoughts. I can start to intentionally say no to things. And even if you have kids, you can start to say like, no, we're not having a schedule that we're rushing around all the time. It's okay to say no. So understanding it, coming from a place where we're not trying to blame ourselves, but really what this does, it empowers us. It takes us out of being a victim to our schedule. It starts to empower us to be like, oh, I actually do have a say in my life. I do have a say about the things that I say yes to and the things that I say no to. And that's exciting. You realize like, shoot, I don't like how things are. It's exciting to know that you have input on where you want things to go. You're not stuck. It just takes like deciding, making that decision and then kind of deciding where you want it to go. So this is a really good tool. Write down like where, what does your schedule even look like, right? The interesting thing, if I were to look back on this, I'd be like, oh, interesting. My afternoon is busy. My evenings are busy. Oh, look at these morning slots here. If I lose the identity of I'm not a morning person, that's interesting. I actually could fit stuff in my morning, but it takes some intentional work. So let's come back to my chart here. So how do you keep consistent with no set schedule? I'm not going to tell you how to be. I'm not going to tell you how to be consistent. It's not going to be possible. Your brain needs to know what to expect. You need to have the cues like we respond to environment, we respond to hours in the day, we respond to like, oh, first I do this, then I do this. That's how we start creating habits. So instead of saying like, oh man, I can't even have a set schedule, it's like, okay, how can we start to add more structure and more boundaries, more systems, more habits, more consistency in your schedule? And then that is actually going to help you become consistent with the things that you want to create. So let's start with that. The first thing I have here, different wording, but the same thing. We need to define your aspirational identity. We need to define who you want to be in life. We need to define the life that you want to live. And I have a really small print over here, but like you need intentional boundaries. You need to be like, cool, here's the life that I want. Does this thing fit that? Oh, it doesn't. Okay, I'm going to say no to it. This doesn't fit that. Okay, cool. Here's this opportunity. Does this fit the life and the person that I want to be? Oh yeah, it does. Great. I'll say yes to that. So but it really needs to start with, what is that aspirational identity? Who is that person that you want to be? And then that's going to help you start chipping away and start saying no and start setting boundaries around the things that you want in your life and the things that you need to like have less of in your life. The next thing that you need to do, this is more practical, but I'll share why this is important. We spend so much time on technology. We spend so much time watching television, scrolling Facebook, hi, scrolling Instagram, scrolling Twitter, scrolling Reddit, playing Candy Crush. We spend so much time on technology. If you get into the habit of being a person who goes to bed on time, you're a person who values your sleep, this is what this is going to do. These are intentional boundaries. If you want the life that you have this aspirational identity, that person that you want to be gets quality sleep, that's going to start with limiting the amount of tech that you are consuming, limiting the amount of tech that you are spending your time on, right? So what that does, it frees up time. It also declutters your mind, makes you less impulsive. Define your aspirational identity. We need to start setting intentional boundaries. And one of those is turning off tech and going to bed on time. Even if your boyfriend, your husband, your girlfriend, your wife, your mom, your dad, your aunt, your niece, whoever, even if they're like, stay up with me, let's do this. It's like, cool, that sounds like a lot of fun, but this is the life that I want. So I'm actually going to have to say no. I'm going to have to set this boundary. And I'm going to go do the thing that is going to get me the life that I want. Okay, so what turning off tech allows you to do is, oh my gosh, realize that mornings are the best time to work on changing who you're being. Here's why, right? Even if I look at this, and I was working with children whose lives can be very messy. Like, we thought the soccer game was on this field. The soccer game is actually over here. And also you need to stop to pick up sports drinks, blah, blah, blah. The day gets busy. Once you open your life, once you open your schedule, you open your day to consuming other people's lives, consuming other people's errands, consuming work, doing stuff for other people, it starts to get messy. But if you want to create the life that you want to be that consistent person, the morning slot, that is, you have control over your morning. You have very less. The control decreases as you go through your day. And not only does the control decrease, but your energy wanes. It's harder to want to do anything at 8 p.m. I don't know how many times in my life, I'm going to exercise after work. No, I'm tired by the end of the workday. I don't want to exercise. So starting your day with that session, and here's the other thing too, is now this sets the tone for the day. Wow, I've filled my cup. I've done something for myself. So turn off your tech at a reasonable hour so it gives you time to unwind. You're not looking at the blue light. You can clear your thoughts. You can get quality sleep. Realize mornings are the best time to work on yourself, and then start with a self-care session. You got to start with a self-care session. I do not know how someone can consistently actually change their life unless they take that time and dedicate that time to themselves first in the morning. What I have found that works for me and what I do with my clients is starting off with some gratitude, some journaling, reading, writing, pen to paper, off of nothing with screens, nothing with screens, like pen to paper, moving in my body, maybe playing some music, but not like going onto YouTube and like trying, but like, no, like click the button, music plays, let me start my day, let me be in my body, let me not like travel off to this other place in the world, like let me just have this time for myself. So those are my suggestions. How do you keep consistent with no set schedule? Start to realize that you do have more say over your schedule than you might realize right now, but that means saying no to some people or some things that previously you have not said no to. And listen, like I get it. Like if you're like, oh, Jacqueline, that's cute and that's nice, but like I have, you don't understand my work situation or my family situation, or there's a pandemic going on. I can't just like change these things. I get that this is not an overnight shift. Like, no, not by any means. It took me, I mean, I left teaching in 2015 and then 2016, 2017. This took a long time in order to realize, like, hey, you keep getting this crap. You need to be intentional about these boundaries that you're setting. If you want your life to go this way, this is going to take some time. This is going to take some intention, right? So I know this is not a quick fix. Those don't ever work. But if you really want to change the course of where your life is going, you want to be that person that gets to enjoy life, it starts with deciding, like, this is what I want for my life. I don't want that stuff. Get rid of move away from the pain and move closer to the pleasure. And I think it also comes from just like deciding, this is my one and only life on this planet. This is what I'm deserving of. This is what I'm worthy of. And I'm not gonna accept that crap anymore. Life will give you what you accept if you you do have a say over where you want your life to go. So those are my suggestions. Be intentional about what you want for 2021. Practice it daily, and you will create that life you want to live. Take care.